games you can play with your body, like soccer, football, but there's one game you can play with your mind, and that is chess. My name is Elam Tolliver, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about chess. Chess is a game of strategy, and your goal is to win. Do you know the weakest piece can become the strongest? How do chess pieces move? A pawn moves only one square, but two squares on its first move, and it captures diagonally. A knight moves in a L shape, but only 3 squares. A bishop moves diagonally. A rook moves up, down, side to side. A queen, the most powerful piece in the game. It moves like a bishop and a rook. Up, down, side to side, diagonally. A king moves like the queen, but only 1 square per move. How castling works. Now, how to castle is when there's nothing between your rook and your king. Your king moves 2 squares to the left, and your rook jumps over the king and lands beside it. Now, these are ways of how your opponent, or how you can stop yourself from castling. One, if you're in check. So I'm going to play a couple moves and you'll see. And then this captures this. Then, wait, no. Your bishop's right here. They move that pawn, and they move their pawn right here. You bring out your bishop. This is called check. And see how these 2 pieces are still out of their spots? Even though the king's in check, he still cannot castle. Another way is when one of your pieces are in the way. And so, the king can't castle. Another one is when another opponent's pieces is attacking the square your king or your rook is going to land on. In this position, the rook is attacking the square the king is going to land on. The bishop is attacking the square the rook is going to land on. So, you can't castle. And so, those are ways of how you cannot castle at all. Now, different types of checkmate. you have a knight right here. You have like a knight right here. You have your king. A couple of pawns. And you have a queen right here. It's your turn to move since they just moved the rook from right here to right here. Now, you move your knight right here. This is checkmate. You might be wondering, how is this checkmate? Look, the king is in check. There's no way of how to capture the knight because no other pieces of black can capture it. So, if the king is in check and he can't move anywhere, it's checkmate. This is called scholar's mate. He could also move right here. Still would be scholar's mate. Now, we'll change the board where the king also has some of his pawns like right here. The king is over here of the board. You have a queen right here. You have your king right here, your opponent's king, and you have a rook right here. It's your turn to move. You move your queen right here, check. He moves down here, check. Then you could go right here, check. Then he would move right here, check. He scoots over, check. He scoots over, check. Then if he scoots right here, or right here, and if he did this, checkmate. He can't go to this far because it's controlled by the rook. And he's in check by the queen. This is ladder mate. Now there's one more, and it's gonna be quick. This one is called back rock mate. In instance, you have a queen or a rook. In this instance, you have a queen or your rook. And you just moved your rook. They moved their pawn from right here to right here. You move your rook right here. That is checkmate. If this is like this. Now look, it's checkmate. None of these pieces can capture the rook. The king can't go anywhere because it's stuck on this file. So, it's checkmate. So, chess is a game is when your pieces can move in certain directions or ways. But there's some rules they have to follow. And your pieces work together to checkmate your opponent's king. My name is Elam Tolliver. And like and sub my podcast. Goodbye.